Greetings, my dear friends. This is Dreamweaver Mystics, as always. Before I begin, I want to say something very important. Everything you are about to hear is only my thoughts and guesses. I do not claim to know how the universe works. I do not claim that the law of emptiness works exactly as I describe it. I am simply sharing what I have noticed over years of observation, loss, and unexpected gain. And you, as always, decide whether to agree or to doubt along with me. Today, I want to talk about a paradox that accompanies us throughout our lives. That in order to receive something new, you must get rid of something old. The law of emptiness, the law of abundance, and why we cling so desperately to what no longer serves us, and why that clinging is the main obstacle to what we truly want. Let us start with the simplest thing, with your closet. When you buy new clothes, you have to throw away or give away old ones. The closet is not made of rubber. If you hang new clothes on top of old ones, soon you will not be able to find what you are looking for. You will dig through a pile of rags, get angry, be late. New clothes will wrinkle, lose their shape, mix with the old. At some point, you gather courage. You take everything out, sort it, throw away what you haven't worn in years, give away what no longer fits. And suddenly, the closet becomes spacious. You see every item. You know where everything is. You can breathe. And at that moment, as if by magic, new things come into your life. Not because you attracted them, but because you made room for them. This is the law of emptiness in action. The simplest, most understandable example. But the law of emptiness works not only with closets, it works with money, with relationships, with work, with thoughts, with feelings, with habits. In Eastern philosophy, there is the concept of emptiness, shunyata. It is not the absence of everything. It is the absence of excess. It is space in which something new can appear. Without emptiness, there is no creation. Without emptiness, there is no movement. In Taoism, there is the principle of wu-wei, non-action. It is not laziness, it is the ability not to interfere, the ability to let go, the ability to create emptiness so that the universe can fill it. In the Bible, it is written, "To everything there is a season, and a time to every purpose under heaven. A time to cast away stones, and a time to gather stones together. A time to embrace, and a time to refrain from embracing." This is the law of emptiness. A time to hold on, and a time to let go. In Hinduism, there is the god Shiva, the destroyer. But he does not destroy out of malice. He destroys to make room for new creation. The old universe must die so a new one can be born. Old cells must die so the body can renew itself. Old thoughts must leave so new ones can appear. The law of emptiness is not philosophy. It is physics. It is biology. It is psychology. It is economics. It is everything around us. Why are we so afraid of emptiness? Why do we cling to old things, old relationships, old grievances, old beliefs? Because emptiness is frightening. It reminds us of death, of endings, of what we cannot control. If I throw away this old jacket, I admit that it is no longer needed. But what if I need it? What if I regret it? What if I end up without a jacket, without money for a new one, with nothing? The fear of emptiness is the fear of the unknown. and the unknown is more frightening than anything. Even bad but familiar seems safer than good but new. We prefer familiar suffering to unfamiliar happiness, because the familiar is predictable, but the new is not. But here is what I have understood. Emptiness is not an enemy. Emptiness is an ally. It is not absence, it is possibility. In Buddhism, there is a parable about a cup. A student came to the teacher and asked, "How can I become enlightened?" The teacher took a cup and began to pour tea into it. He poured until the cup was full to the brim. Then he continued pouring. Tea spilled over the edge, flooded the table, the floor. The student shouted, "Teacher, the cup is full. It cannot hold any more." The teacher replied, "Your mind is like this cup. It is full of your knowledge, your opinions, your judgments. How can I pour something new into you if there is no room?" Emptiness is readiness. It is the ability to receive the new. If you do not make room, the new cannot enter, not because the universe is evil, but because physically there is nowhere for it to go. The law of conservation of energy has not been repealed. In a closed system, the amount of energy is constant. If you want to receive something, you must give something. If you want to let the new in, you must let the old out. But this law works not only in physics, it works in psychology, in economics, in relationships. There is space in your life occupied by old grievances. You have carried them for years. You chew them over and over. You return to them in your thoughts, in conversations, in dreams. Then you wonder why love does not come into your life. How can it come when your whole heart is filled with old wounds? Make room, forgive, let go, and then, perhaps, someone new will appear. There is space in your life occupied by old beliefs. I am not worthy. I cannot do it. I am too old. I am too young. I am unlucky. You carry these beliefs like a heavy burden. They determine every action you take. They prevent you from even trying. Then you wonder why your life does not change. How can it change when your mind is clogged with old programs? Make room. Doubt. Test. Replace old beliefs with new ones. The law of emptiness requires courage. It requires action. It requires faith that after emptiness will come not emptiness, but filling. In the Bible, there is the story of the widow of Zarephath. She had only a handful of flour and a little oil. She was about to make a last cake for herself and her son, and then die of hunger. But the prophet Elijah came and asked for food. He said, "Make me a cake first." The woman gave her last. And the flour and oil did not run out until the end of the famine. She created emptiness, and emptiness was filled. In Hinduism, there is the goddess Lakshmi, the goddess of abundance. It is said that she dwells where there is cleanliness and order. She does not enter cluttered homes, not because she is capricious, but because in a cluttered home, there is no room for her gifts. The same with your soul. If it is cluttered with fears, grievances, regrets, where is the room for joy, love, abundance? Nowhere. The law of emptiness is the law of abundance. They are two sides of the same coin. You cannot receive the new without releasing the old. You cannot be filled without first being emptied. In Taoism, there is the concept of emptiness within. The master does not strive to fill himself with knowledge. He strives to cleanse himself of the unnecessary. The more emptiness, the more can enter. In Zen Buddhism, there is the practice of no mind, mushin. It is a state where the mind is not occupied with thoughts. It is empty. And in that emptiness, enlightenment arises. In your life, it works the same way. You rush, plan, worry. Your mind is overflowing. You have no time to stop. You cannot hear yourself. You cannot hear the universe. Try stopping. Turn off your phone. Sit in silence. Let thoughts come and go. Do not hold on to them. Create emptiness. And in that emptiness, you may hear what has been trying to tell you for a long time. See what has been trying to show you. Understand what has been trying to explain. The law of emptiness is not about rejecting everything. It is about choice. You choose what to keep and what to let go. You choose what to let in and what to keep out. You do not have to suffer. You do not have to live with unnecessary things, unnecessary people, unnecessary thoughts. But to get rid of them, you need to make an effort. You need to stop being afraid of emptiness. You need to believe that after emptiness will come filling. I have tested this on myself more than once. When I parted with people who did not respect me, after some time, those who valued me appeared in my life. When I left a job that drained me, after some time, a new, more interesting one appeared. When I gave up habits that destroyed me, after some time, I felt freer, lighter, happier. Emptiness is frightening at the moment of creation, but a week later, a month later, a year later, you look back with gratitude at that moment when you decided to let go. And here is something important. The law of emptiness works not only with bad things, it also works with good things. Sometimes you need to let go of the good to receive the better. You have a good job, stable salary, good colleagues, clear tasks, but you are not interested. You are not growing. You are stuck. It is scary to leave. What if the new place is worse? What if it does not work out? What if I regret it? But if you do not leave, you will never know. You will sit in your good stability and wither away, slowly, imperceptibly. Then you will wake up 10 years later and realize you wasted your time. Sometimes you need to let go of the good to receive the better. Not because the good is bad, but because it blocks the horizon. You cannot see what lies beyond. There is space in your life occupied by a good relationship. You are not happy, but you endure. They do not hit you, do not insult you, do not cheat. It is just, there is no spark, no life, no growth. You are afraid to leave. What if you do not find anyone else? What if you end up alone? What if this is the best option and you just do not appreciate it? But if you do not leave, you will never know. You will sit in your good stability and die inside. The law of emptiness requires risk. It requires faith. It requires courage. But it works. I have seen it hundreds of times. In my own life, in the lives of my friends, in letters from subscribers. A person loses a job and then finds their life's work. A person breaks up with a partner and then meets true love. A person loses money and then discovers a talent they never knew they had. Emptiness is not punishment. It is preparation. It is clearing the ground for new construction. Imagine you want to build a new house, but on the plot stands an old, dilapidated one. You cannot build a new one without tearing down the old one. First, emptiness. Then, foundation. Then, walls. Then, roof. Without emptiness, you cannot build anything. The same with your soul. Old grievances are walls that need to be demolished. Old fears are rubbish that needs to be hauled away. Old beliefs are foundations that need to be relaid. It is painful. It is frightening. It takes time, but it is the only way. In the book Conversations with God by Neil Donald Walsh, there is a phrase: "You cannot have in your life what you are not willing to let go of." This is the law of emptiness. You want love? Let go of hatred. You want abundance? Let go of greed. You want peace? Let go of anxiety. Not because it is right from a moral standpoint, but because it works. Emotions, like things, take up space. If your house is full of fear, there is no room for courage. If your mind is full of doubt, there is no room for faith. If your heart is full of grievances, there is no room for love. I am not saying it is easy. I am not saying I know how to do it perfectly. I am learning every day. Sometimes it works, sometimes it does not. But I have noticed that when it works, life changes. When I let go, the new comes. When I create emptiness, it gets filled. Not always with what I expected, but always with what I needed. And here is something else important. The law of emptiness works in reverse as well. If you want to get rid of something, stop feeding it. You want to get rid of fear? Do not feed it. Do not replay scary scenarios. Do not read news that amplifies it. Do not talk to people who sow it. Create emptiness. Distract yourself. Do something else. And fear, deprived of nourishment, will begin to die. You want to get rid of a grudge? Do not feed it. Do not return in your thoughts to that situation. Do not chew it over and over. Do not tell your friends how you were wronged. Create emptiness. Forgive, not for the one who wronged you, for yourself, to make room. And the grudge, deprived of attention, will begin to dissolve. You want to get rid of debt? Stop taking on new debt. Create emptiness. Live within your means. And gradually, old debts will begin to shrink. And when room is made, the opportunity to save will appear, not to borrow. The law of emptiness is the law of nature. It does not ask our permission. It makes no exceptions. Everything in the universe obeys this law. Stars are born and die. Galaxies collide and separate. Atoms decay and combine. Nothing is permanent. Everything flows. Everything changes. And if you try to hold on to what must go, you fight the current of the river. You will tire. You will exhaust yourself. You will drown. Let go. Create emptiness. And the river itself will bring you what you need. I do not know if the universe has a plan. I do not know if there is a God who distributes gifts. I do not know if the law of emptiness works exactly as I describe it. But I know that when I let go, things came to me. Not always immediately, sometimes through pain, sometimes through tears, but they came. And I know that when I clung, I lost time, lost energy, lost myself. So perhaps the law of emptiness is not mysticism. It is just common sense. If you cannot hold on, let go. If you do not know what to do, do nothing. If there is no room for the new, make room. Try it. Right now, today. Look around. What can you let go of? An old thing you never wear? A grudge you have carried for years? A belief that limits you? A habit that destroys you? Do it. Create emptiness and see what happens. And that is all for today. This was Dreamweaver Mystics. Do not forget to subscribe to the channel if you have not already, and hit the notification bell so you do not miss new videos. And write in the comments, what are you ready to let go of today? What emptiness are you ready to create? What new thing do you want to let into your life? I read everything. And remember, emptiness is not loss. It is preparation. It is the most important step toward getting what you dream of. Until next time.